Now, the negative proponent or impact of all these things I just shared with you is what has led to the dead forms or the dead end forms of commitment. So, because people fear commitments, because people are afraid of attachment and getting married, because of the experience they have seen, which we'll discuss at the last slide, they have strategically developed alternative forms of relationships, or what I call subcultural forms of relationships or marriages, to give them a feel or a taste of what marriage or godly relationship looks like. But they are not going to give their all to that situation. Okay, so there is always an exit door for them. That when I'm not interested, when I'm not doing, I can exit the door at any moment, at any time. And sometimes you hear this when someone is in a relationship with you and you tell the person that, oh, I want to introduce you. The moment they hear I want to introduce you, they're like, I'm not interested. Let's do this privately. Let's do this secretly. Now, part of it is because of the fear. So that when I want to leave you, I can leave you secretly. Please, let's do the relationship secretly. So that when I want to leave you, I can leave you secretly. Let's do it privately. So that when I want to leave you, I can leave you privately. Again, because of the shame that is attached to breakup and all of that, people want to still do it privately. So that when they want to jackpot, they will jackpot without any issue because they don't want to give any explanation to anyone whatsoever. So there is always an exit door for people. Okay. And as a result of that, people are not bringing their all to the dynamic of relationships, especially modern relationships. The reason we'll look into them, but people don't want to give their all again. They always want an exit door. Okay. And what I normally tell people is this: if you should, when you are in a room and God forbid there should be a fire outbreak, okay, but there is no exits, say the door is locked by someone outside, okay, and the key is not around. No, in fact, if there is a fire outbreak, what is your first fight or flight response? You take to your heel, you run away. You not think about quenching the fire. You are running away. You are thinking of the exit door. But say, God forbid, it won't happen to us in Jesus' name. Say the door is locked and you attempted opening the door and the door is not opening. Now, what is the next alternative you are going to think about? Quenching the fire. When the thing hits you for the first time, it's about exiting. But when there is no exit door, then it's about finding a way to deal with the problem or deal with the situation or quenching the fire. But if you are designing alternative forms of relationship with exit doors all the time, then when there is an issue, your intuitive action is not to face the issue, is not to deal with the issue, but it will be to run away, to exit, because you are creating alternative forms of relationship that includes an exit door. One of them is cohabitation. And you see, let me just, so all these forms of dead end, when I say dead end, it means they don't amount to anything good. Even though that is your motive or your mindset, they always don't amount to anything good. They are going to wreck you, they are going to affect you, they'll leave you with scars and all of that. Okay. These forms of dead end commitments doesn't make you contribute your all to your partner or to the relationship. And like I said, in the absence of commitment, we are all watching or looking out for ourselves. In the absence of commitment, we are all seeing what we can gain, the benefit we can all derive from the situation. In the absence of commitment, there is no value. In the absence of commitment, there is no security. So I can't really entrust my life with you like that, because we have all created exit door that when a tufan chaya or when it backfires, we'll all exit quietly. No one will know that we pass here, we pass here, will be a funny coin. When that element is present in that situation or that relationship, of course, there can be safety, there can be value, there can be you can't present your full self to them. So what happens is that you give pieces of yourself to these people. You don't give your all to them because there is always an exit door. I made a post some few months ago that until you are truly committed to someone, you don't really know them yet, which is true. Until you are truly committed to someone, it can be committed to your job, it can be committed to a friendship, it can be committed to a romantic relationship, committed to marriage, committed to purpose. Until you can be fully committed to the situation, you will not know this person fully. Because whenever there is commitment, there is safety. Whenever there is safety, there is a freedom to be myself. When there is a freedom to be myself, then I can know you for who you are. Okay, I know a lot of questions are coming, but I'll answer them when we are done with the session. So in the absence of commitment, in the presence of commitment, there's going to be safety. When there is safety, then I can bring my full self to the table. I'm coming to now be free about who I am to you, because I know you will not leave me like that. I know you will not forsake me like that. So because of that, I want to now freely be myself. So if you are creating all these dead end forms of commitment, trust me, the person you are in that situation with, you don't know the person so well. I'm being very honest with you. You don't know the person so well because you've not created that platform of safety for the person to be themselves around you. And for that to happen, you need to pledge commitments in the highest order to them before you can begin to know them for who they are. So someone will say, okay, go, so God, if this is what you are telling me, why then should I be in that committed situation? The person now comes to reveal bullshit to me. Again, that is why commitment can be used as a tool to know, to test, and know if this person is genuinely or truly wants to be in that dynamic with you. Because until you can make them feel free around you, until you can make them have free will around you, you will not know them for who they truly are. So if you are in this dead end forms of commitment situations, then of course you can't have all of them because we are all looking at what we can derive or get out of the situation. So cohabitation, a major form of dead end commitment where we are in a dynamic. It can be staying together or living apart, okay, but we are enjoying all the benefits that comes with marriage or relationships, romantic relationships. But to go to the next level of legalizing it, of standing before witnesses to make it known to the public, not to the whole world like some do on social media, but to make it to the people who matter in their lives, that this is what we are doing together, is difficult for some people. And again, it's because of that exit door. It's because when a tufa one, when there is a problem, I leave. I leave quietly because we are not tied by the law to be together, right? So because of that, people will prefer cohabiting to being in an actual marriage, which is legalized, and they made the vows before the altar and all of that. And I think it's a big deal. Now, people argue cohabiting, but the truth is that the divorce rate is the same for people who are cohabiting. In fact, according to the stats, people can cohabit for 3 years, for 5 years, for 10 years. After they marry, they still divorce in some few months. So it is making you think that, oh, okay, then that means that the cohabiting was the best because when they were cohabiting, they were able to do it for 3 years. Why is it that when they are now married, now they are seeking for divorce? It is because you see, like I said, if you are not in a committed, legalized dynamic, this person cannot be safe to present their true selves to you. They will hide a lot of things from you. In fact, I don't. Maybe you guys can even share, can even bear witness that when you were in that friendship or you were in a relationship set, of things you condoned. Maybe myself, I'm a victim. There are a lot of things you condoned, a lot of things you allowed to pass by, a lot of things you're like, oh, it's okay, baby, don't worry. But now that they are committed or you are committed, now you are bringing those same issues and concerns out. The same person who said, I'm not okay with this, the same person who was okay with everything you did. Now, this same person says, I'm not that okay. The same person who used to call you at certain hours, used to text you, used to be all around you. Now, because you are committed, so you are no longer enjoying those benefits. It's not that intentionally they decided they are not going to be committed. Do you know why? It's because now they are being their selves, their true selves to you. And because they wanted that thing from you, they sent a representation of themselves ahead of you so that you will like that person. But the moment they see commitment, now they're like, oh, okay, now I can return to my original self, who I am. So this is where we need to train them that no, the things you used to do, please continue doing them. I'm using that example to make you understand that the reason why you condone certain things at a point is because you didn't want to stir the waters. You didn't want to, you didn't want to destroy the potential of what could happen. So you were waiting for commitment. Now that commitment has come, whether in relationship or in marriage, it's not like you are really going to show your true colors, but you have the safety to now be yourself. And that safety of being yourself has some disadvantages that you need to be working on. So you can be cohabiting for years because there is an exit door. Nothing is really at stake. But the moment we now tie the knots and we've now legalized this, that means that now we have the freedom to be ourselves. And by the freedom to be ourselves, there are certain things we may now be exposing and expressing because we know you will not leave. How we are getting the picture? Because we know you will not leave. Now right, we can freely enjoy the situation. I don't call you, I call you, you stay. So I understand there is a demise of this commitment and I'm teaching. That is why hopefully you are choosing the right person. You've prayed about it, you've gone for counseling and done all of these things. I'll teach later to help you. Because the truth is that in the presence of commitment, people will be themselves. And sometimes the being themselves may not be good for the relationship. That is why people can cohabit for years, but the moment they settle down in marriage, they may end in divorce because now there is that freedom to be themselves. There is no exit doors, and they miss that thing they used to have, where there is always an exit door. And when you interview them or you speak to them, they will tell you that there has been countless times gone separated. They've separated themselves because they have an exit door. But what was once separation in the context of cohabiting, now it is termed divorce because there's legal cases involved in the situation. I'm spending so much time here. So people who are practicing cohabiting, people are enjoying friends with benefits because they want to run away from commitments. So you see, it's mutual. I don't want this commitment thing. You also don't want these commitment things. Let's enjoy some benefits. Benefits that people who in relationships, emotional viability, emotional availability, some even engage in sex and all of these things. We can be doing them, but we are not in a committed situation. No, we are just friends. We are only enjoying benefits. People again enjoy dating for fun. Okay, people enjoy indefinite dating. So the indefinite dating, part of it was the statistics I shared with us that um you you are in a committed relationship, but for you to take to the next level of being committed in marriage, oh, wow, yeah, okay, because of that fear, so you will prefer to be in this because people have been dating 5 years, 7 years, and you ask them like, gee, what are you doing? You're like, I'm in a relationship, so what's the next plan? There's no next plan. We like it where we are. It's because of that fear, so they will prefer to be in this situation. Some also enjoy dead end forms of relationships where there is no level of exclusivity, so you can invite other people into the dynamic. We are in a relationship, all right, but it's not between you and I. You can be in a relationship with other people too. It is that for, you see, when it is about you and I in the dynamic, there's a lot of responsibility and accountability that comes with being committed to these two people. But when you open it up, it lessens the impact or the level of commitment. And because people have been hurt before, people have gone through diverse of things, they find safety in this kind of dead end forms of commitment because it doesn't demand or ask so much from them. Because trust me, relationship is responsibility. It's accountability if you are doing it for the right reason. So some even are in situationships where they can't really define what they are doing. And they are okay. Oh. To a large extent, they are okay because they don't want the spotlight to be on them. Let's introduce you. Let me introduce you to my friends. Let them know we are going on. No, no, no. Let me introduce you to my. No, no, no. Let me introduce. No, 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 no. Let's just keep this within us. Now, again, when people are beginning relationship for the first time, they may have their own reason or motive why they want to keep their relationship private to a point. Okay, even private. Yeah, there may be a slight difference between keeping it a secret and keeping it private. Okay, people's relationships are private, which is good. They don't want social media and everyone to know what's going on in their life. Fine. But keeping it a secret is a problem. You can't tell me that you don't have any trusted friend, any best. In fact, this person should be your best friend anyway. So, but you don't have any close friend or anyone you can trust to know that this is what you are doing. This is the relationship you are in. You can't tell me that there is no one like that. Your pastor, your mentor, your boss, or your supervisor, your father, your sibling, your parents, your friends. You can't pick just one or two people to let them know that this is what is going on. Then if that is the case, so you can still keep your relationship private, yet others who are important in your circles will know. But keeping it a secret when no one is just both of you involved, that raises a lot of red flags. Now it could be that okay, because we are starting this from the scratch, or this we are checking the situation, so we just want it to be between us. Fine, but the moment commitment is in view, the moment we are sure that this is what we are doing, Olga, at least if it's one person in this life, of course. When I'm saying one person again, it may be someone that is equally not as correct as they are. Okay, the person is not equally correct like this. So if they're introducing you to the person, there's no safety or there's no guarantee anyway because but I mean, any slight level of accountability that comes to the situation, we need to know. Someone important in your lives need to know that this is what is going on. If the person doesn't know, then you are keeping that relationship a secret. And large portions of the reason why you are doing that is because you want an exit door. That's a tujaka. I can leave the situation. Okay, some are even vying for definite contract marriage. So the marriage we have in the system now is the indefinite contract marriage because marriage is still a contract under the state's law anyway. Okay, but people are vying for the definite ones where we go on marriage as a contract. So we can renew it after every 2 years or after every 5 years. I'm not telling you story. These are things that exist in other countries. Okay. So what happens is that if after 2 years we can't continue again, then we separately go our way because the term for the marriage is up. Um, so you see, all these ideas is that longevity that comes with marriage. We are all finding our way around it, breaking and enjoying pieces of it, but not the whole of it. And because marriage is a whole, if you don't if you don't attempt the whole of it, you will not enjoy the whole of it. If you are breaking pieces around it, trying cohabiting, friends with benefit, dating for fun, indefinite dating, open-ended relationships, situationships, and definite contract marriage, you will not enjoy the best that God has designed for marriage. That is why you need to put in the hard work. Okay, now I even believe in evaluating your relationship or your marriage from time to time. Like there is this popular profile on Instagram called Flamingo, and they ask you very thought-provoking questions about your relationship. When was the last time I did something wonderful? What is the memory of me that you keep on reminiscing over? Or something. They ask you very beautiful questions that you can engage with your partner. And I was telling my partner that some of these things you don't really think about them, but when you are asked, they bring a lot of things out of you. They make you appreciate your partner. They make you, it helps you to evaluate the relationship. If there is something your partner is doing wrong, or like they ask a question like, what is this thing I have done that has wronged you, but you have never brought it up. I'm like, wow, okay, now I have the opportunity to talk about it. Because if I should be talking about it in the heat and the business of the day, my partner will probably react and all of that. But under the cool atmosphere, we are being asked this question. And it's not me asking, Flamingo are asking, so we have to answer anyway. So you see, these are ways you can evaluate your relationship. If you don't want to do the flamingo thing, you can just put down certain questions to ask your partner, are you happy? Am I making you happy? If we were to renew this relationship, would you renew it? Will you choose me again? Is there anything I've done that you've not brought up but is really eating you up? Some of these questions need to be answered. On the scale of 0 to 10, how will you rate my commitment to you? On a scale of 0 to 5, how will you rate my intimacy with you? On a scale of 0 to 10, how will you rate my communication with you? Some of these things you don't have to go to a counselor to be interrogating you guys. Okay, even though I advise counseling at a certain stage, but these are things you can be doing to sharpen the edge of your commitment and your marriage and all of that. Okay. That's just by the way. Now we are looking at redefining commitment. Let me see the time. Oh, okay. We have about 20 minutes more. We are looking at so we have about 20 minutes more to close. Okay. Redefining commitment vows. It has become a thing now where people no longer say the traditional vows. Okay. I don't even call them traditional vows. I call them commitment vows. It was coined by a bishop in some centuries ago, and he coined this vow because for those of you, it's not in the Bible, okay, but I think it typifies what the Bible says about marriage. And for me, it is steeped in long-term commitments. That is what to me the vow is, okay. And he coined it because of the understanding of marriage that, like Felix said, I want a partner that will be beside, not behind, not before, but that will be beside me for the long haul. I want someone I can trust. I have friends in school, I have friends in class, I have friends in church, I have friends in the society, but I want just this one person that I can pledge my vow and my commitment to. That we are going to go through the thickness of life, we are going to weather through storms together, and I know they've got my back, I've got their back. No matter what, I know they've got my back. Then they are going to be there with me, fighting for me, praying for me, encouraging me, motivating me. Just one person out of the many. Friends will come and go, but this person promises to stay. People will come and leave my life. People will come and form part of the chapters of the page of my life. But this person is the whole book, has come to stay. I want just that one person. Then the commitment says that then you are giving this pledge to this person that you are going to be with this person even through the thickness of life. But then they are again saying that we can't promise to be with someone forever. We can't pledge something we can't keep at the end of the day. And I'm like, if you didn't know you couldn't keep, why were you even there in the first place? Because Dr. Mouse Manuel of Blessed Memory made this statement that you are ready for marriage when you are not ready to come out of it. In other words, you are ready to enter into a marriage commitment when you've made up your mind that you are not coming out of it. So that readiness is actually seen in your resilience to be committed to this person.